Honestly. Hello and welcome back to the Stay Fitness channel. Today I would like to talk to you about counting calories, food diaries, and all that basically. Lately I've seen a lot going on, a lot of talking about counting calories. Some people does it, some people don't, and I feel like people feels like they need to belong to a category, like you're either someone who counts or either someone who doesn't count. So there is a lot now on this intuitive eating, or more like kind of free flow eating, and I feel like there's a bit of clarification that needs to be made on like what actually means counting calories and what are the differences between calorie restricted diet and food diaries, or counting calories or counting macros. So what does counting calorie mean? Counting calories is nothing less than a way to control how much you eat through putting everything you eat on a scale, or if you're eating like a pre-made food, you scan it, put it into your app. What that means is that you know how much you're eating, how many from calories to macros. But what people doesn't know, that you also have a intel on what vitamins you're eating, how much salt you're eating. So it's not just about counting calories, but you're counting a lot more. And if you're using something like MyFitnessPal, which is free and amazing, you can pretty much track every nutrient that you need for to be healthy essentially. So yeah, counting calories is nothing to do with restricted calorie diets. Restricted calorie diets are diets set to a certain calorie budget that's usually really low, like 1,300 calories a day. This is so filling. Counting calories doesn't equal a calorie restricted diet, because you might need counting calories if you want to gain weight. It's not always about losing weight. Like a lot of athletes are probably on like 3,000 plus calories a day, but if they don't count, they might not meet all their calorie requirements, which would mean losing weight possibly, underperforming. So counting calories can be an extremely good help. Do you know? You know. So yeah, counting calories can be a fantastic tool to actually make sure you get enough of everything. It's not just about overeating. There are plenty of people who undereat because they feel like they can't eat, they're not allowed to eat, or they simply just are used to, since always, eating very little. And that can lead to a lot of health problems as much as overeating. So counting calories can be an actually good way to start integrating more food into your diet, and actually see in that based on your activity level, your basic metabolic rate, you need more calories. Let's talk a little bit about intuitive eating, which is something that I've seen so much lately. And it's basically the notion of listening to your body and eating what your body tells you. But if I'm honest, like if I would listen to my intuition, my intuition is not great when it comes to telling me what I should be eating. Like, of course, there's like common sense, but if I would eat what I want, it would be pizza and pasta all day, every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and crisps, and not necessarily like all junk food. Just quantity would be off, because when I'm hungry, I always like overindulge. And it's just like, even though I'm in the health industry, I've been counting calories for years now, still like I can't calibrate my eyes to understand how much is 100 grams of this, 100 grams of that. But of course, on the other hand, the good thing about intuitive eating is that the whole listen to your body, because a lot of time you're full but you keep eating because there's food on your plate, and that's where maybe you should listen to your body. It says, okay, if you're full, then maybe weight. But on the other hand, if you've always been under eating and your body tells you you're full, you might need a little bit to push your boundaries in order to start being able to eat more. So it's, as everything, I think, is all about the middle, like the gray areas. I think both methods are valid to have a happy and healthy lifestyle. You just have to take what the best of all, kinda. Counting calories is fantastic, like to just get an idea of like how much, what are the nutrients, what are the components of each food. Like every food is calories, so like pasta would be mostly carbs, but also some fiber, some protein, blah blah blah. You would have rice, you'd have chicken breast, chicken thighs. So I think it's just an extremely valid educational weapon to learn about food very easily without having to do any courses, without having to research too much. All you need to do is like put food on the scale, point to MyFitnessPal or Chronometer or any other app, and then just look at like the report, like what have I actually eaten today. And maybe you're deficient in iron, maybe you're deficient in vitamin D, B, or you know, there's so much you could be deficient in or eating too much of. You know, they always like, you can overeat carbs, of course, that's super easy. But overeating protein on the long run is dangerous. If we just follow our intuition, I wish our intuitions and our instincts would be so good that you can literally, you know, never have to count, never have to be on a diet, never have to like, but it just doesn't work like that, in my opinion. And another extremely good point, I think, is counting calories and, you know, calculating your basic metabolic rate, your activity level, and knowing how much you should be eating breaks you free from all kind of diets that you see on a, you know, on a newspaper or on the internet, like whatever diet this celebrity did, whatever diet, like once you understand that food is fuel for your body, you personally, person who is 5'7", weighs this much, this age, you know, works, teacher, office, you know, these are gonna make a massive difference. You need your own individually planned calories, and then you go from there. You might need to eat 2,000 calories, I need 2,200, because, you know, I do weightlifting, I might need a bit more protein. If someone doesn't do weightlifting, like, there's so many variants, and there's no point you starting a diet that wasn't designed for you. And the fact is that most of the time you don't need a designed diet where it's like eat 100 grams of this, 100 grams of that. All you need is a bit of the direction, like a bit of like stirring into the right direction, and then you'll be 100% successful. And, you know, you do your food diary, your discipline for a while, then, you know, things start clicking and you're like, this is how my plate should look like, this is, you know, this much carbs, this much, like, all things starts to make sense. And instead of feeling like you have to rely on a diet or on someone to tell you how much to eat, you can do it yourself. And I think that's amazing. The message in all this is that you should be in charge of your own nutrition. Of course you can get obsessive, but you can get obsessive with a lot of things. If you know, like you can get obsessive with not eating carbs, you can get obsessive with like eating just super clean foods. Like, everything can be taken too far, but I think if you do it in a healthy way, it can be extremely beneficial. And doesn't mean counting freaking, you know, one seed at a time, or like, oh, this has 3 calories, some 3 calories over. it's, you know, there's always flexibility, even because we're not robots. It's not like if you eat 5 calories over, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's all about balance at the end of the day. But yeah, that's about it. Like, of course, I can help you with that, with like calculating your calories and all that, or, you know, get your own coach or do it yourself. Just, you know, do your own research. Don't just base stuff what you see on Instagram or on social media, and don't feel like if you're choosing to like do something when you see someone doing the opposite and kind of being like, oh my god, like people who does that, just don't listen to that. Like, base your decision on science or what's proven, not on fads, and you'll be good to go. Trust me. So yeah, this is the monologue for today. I just, I thought it was important to kind of let you know what I think about it, about, you know, food and food calories and counting. So I hope this video brings you a bit of clarity, and same as the video I did about fitness watches. I think there's a lot of power in data and a lot of education that can be learned from data. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little monologue of mine, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in more stuff like that, also let me know. If there are any other like topics that you would like me to discuss, I'll be more than happy to do it. And hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.